celebrating a birthday on Saturday. Singer Valerie Simpson, one half of Ashford and Simpson, is 41.
And birthday wishes on Sunday go to Charles Fleischer, the voice of Roger Rabbit, turns 39. Actress Barbara Bach is 40. Tuesday Weld is 46. Daryl Dragon, the captain of Captain and Tennille, is 47. And actress Martha Ray is 73. Hello, folks. Let's talk high level. Let's talk high cost. Let's talk high tech, high impact television. We'll explain everything as we go along, but you'll get the high impact idea right off the bat.
Dimple? Wrong.
They call it high impact television. Whether it's designed to sell skin cleanser, as in this spot for OxyPads, or to grab the viewer's attention for a TV series. One thing is for sure, special effects for television have come of age.
What's happening in advertising now, there's so much, because of the rates, there's so much emphasis on high-impact advertising. I mean, really going for the big laugh, the big trick, that we're seeing a lot more of it, I think, than you're seeing in the movies.
Ron Finley is one of a select group of filmmakers specializing in this highly technical field. His latest project is an expensive eye-grabbing stunt that involves dropping a huge box on a seemingly unaware teenage prom couple who give the wrong answers when quizzed about the best acne prep.
Before we dropped a large box on some large person, we attempted to drop that here.
To manage an effect of this magnitude, Finley first designs a miniature mock-up of the set. Through an ingenious system of rails and pulleys, the design allows Finley's crew to drop a full-scale box at full speed over two young actors without seriously endangering anyone's safety.
And action!
The final effect ends up looking like this. Other notable ad campaigns using big-budget special effects include the flashy series of Diet Pepsi commercials featuring twin images of Michael J. Fox actually touching.
Absolutely perfect. Yes.
The main body of this effect is created by a video compositing technique which allows the director to combine two images shot at different times onto a single frame.
In a simplified form, you have Michael J. Fox in the background and a foreground Michael J. Fox with a hand. This is not actually his hand. Let me go back. It's not actually his hand, but a grip's hand, which was simulating his interaction. So when you blend those and put those together, it appears as if they're in the same frame.
Expensive high-tech special effects have also found their way into mainstream TV shows as well, and the use of computerized motion control cameras is leading the way. In this miniature scale model of the City of Tomorrow, director Paul Boyington is using a computer-guided camera to create a bold new opening title sequence for the War of the Worlds TV series.
It's all based on computer technology. Our camera system is all controlled by computers. There's no way a cameraman could ever shoot a move like this.
The final effect is intended to give the television viewer the point of view of an alien invader swooping down on a city in a spacecraft. Experts say these kinds of high-tech advances in special effects for TV are even causing some big-screen Hollywood filmmakers to stand up and take notice.
Lately, the commercials have really been kind of leading things, and you're finding people like George Lucas are saying, there's some really heavy stuff coming out of advertising. I mean, this is really where it's going on, a lot of state-of-the-art.
The average cost of special effects for a commercial runs about $300,000, but some go as high as $1 million. Mary?
Well, Pat, if there's high-cost high-tech, there must be low-cost low-tech, right? And there is, but just because these special effects don't cost $1 zillion, don't think for a minute they're not effective. Plus, you have most of the raw materials right there at home in your own kitchen. The PBS series The Infinite Voyage is filled with everything from interstellar nebula to DNA molecules. But rather than being created by fancy computer graphics, John Allison creates these effects with some unusual items.
The cremora is one. Coconuts, coconut stuff, Jell-O was good.
To create his cloud effects, Allison uses salt water, a layer of saran wrap, fresh water, and the secret ingredient, non-dairy creamer.
I'm putting a lot in.
For explosions, he drains water down a funnel and plays the film in reverse. And for blood cells, he runs red pellets from the hardware store through an irrigation pipe. It seems that nothing is safe from Allison's bag of special effects tricks.
We used Teenage Mutant Turtle snot, I'm trying to remember, and colored that.
As easy as it sounds, Allison says a career in low-tech effects is not for everybody.
When you're here at 4 in the morning and you get the daily the next day and it's a heartbreaker and you have to do it another 5 times to get it right, then...
But Allison wouldn't have it any other way. For him, creating low-tech effects was in the stars.
I'm so lonesome I could cry.
It's a family feud that has all the makings of a soap opera, or at least country song, and it concerns one of the first families of country music. The illegitimate daughter of Hank Williams Sr. has finally won the right to share in the family fortune.
Conceived in love, but treated with shame, denied the right to know my family name.
For 21 years, Jet Williams knew she was adopted, but was unaware that she was the illegitimate daughter of Hank Williams. 4 and 5 days after his death, she recently discovered a contract Williams had drawn up where he stated he wanted a big part in raising her.
We got a copy of the pre-birth custody contract that, when I read it, proved to me that I was the daughter of Hank Williams and that he wanted me.
If he'd lived, he'd have told me I was conceived in love.
Jet took the matter to court, where a lower court judged she was Hank's daughter, but not a rightful heir. However, early last month, the state Supreme Court ruled that she is entitled to a portion of her father's royalties.
I've been in litigation for 4 years, but I feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel now.
But now, I've won the fight. It just seems right for it to end up in a song.
Jet's attorney, who became her husband in the process, estimates her share of the royalties to be $500,000 a year. But he anticipates a continuing battle with Hank Williams' son, Hank Williams Jr.
I think no one involved in this would doubt that Hank Williams Jr. will be the one that loses the most, because her portion of the copyrights would come out of his current portion of the copyrights.
Meanwhile, Jet is following in her father's musical footsteps. Her backup band even has members from the Drifting Cowboys, her father's original band.
When I met Jet Williams, I immediately saw a familiarity of Hank Williams. She has the Hank Williams mouth. She has some attitudes like Hank Williams, and sincerity, certainly determination.
She is Hank Williams' child.
It's that determination that has taken Jet through her lengthy court battles, and she says no matter how it ends up, she already feels like a winner.
When I walked out on the stage in Evergreen, Alabama, and his fans, at a tribute to him, gave me a standing ovation, then I knew that they accepted me as his daughter, and it made my heart swell with pride.
Jet and the Drifting Cowboys kick off a tour October 8th at the Alabama State Fair. It's appropriate because her father, Hank Williams Sr., was originally from Alabama.
Dwight Yoakam took his music to Nashville and became a country music sensation, but his ties are still closer to Hollywood than the Grand Ole Opry. And now he's branching out into acting. Dwight Yoakam's star appears to have risen quickly in the world of country music, but in his earlier days, when he was struggling on the club circuit, he coined his special sound hillbilly music in order to get bookings.
I was getting hired and fired enough that I decided I'd better be very graphic in my description of what I was doing. So I'd talk to these club owners and I'd say, yeah, we want country music. I'd say, well, now, do you want hillbilly music? Do you want real traditional stuff, you know, Flat and Scruggs songs and things like that? And they wouldn't really know what it was, and they'd still hire you and fire you.
Little sister, don't you?
Dwight has been called one of the sex symbols of country music. His trademark Stetson adds to his image, but he admits it serves a more practical purpose.
And once I've got it on, I don't usually take it off, you know, during interviews or during performances, because my hair is thin and you get sweaty, and boy, you don't want to look any uglier than you have to.
Dwight's talents do not rest in music. He is pursuing an acting career and starred in a television pilot for Ron Howard's company called Billy Perdue and His Life.
Just calm down. You do not want to provoke those cops outside, because they're trained to shoot terrorists on sight.
Hey, I ain't no terrorist.
Yes, you are, Big. You are a discount terrorist.
It was a great opportunity for me in terms of moving into film acting. I'd done theatrical acting in high school and dabbled a little bit in my college years. But I hadn't done anything since then, and I'd certainly never done any acting on film, and it's a very different technique.
He's currently in the midst of a cross-country tour, but this is one star who's keeping a calm head about all of the success and accolades that have come his way.
To a certain degree, success will control you until you wrench back control from it. And that's what I've tried to do this year, is now take control of my success to this point and pursue other successes, hopefully, while maintaining control.
Singing, hey, hey, mama, can your daddy come home?
Well, fans will be happy to know that Yoakum has a greatest hits album coming out in September.
So you say you want to be a big-time movie director? How about parking a big bus outside? It doesn't happen very often, but Hollywood is still the capital for overnight success stories, and this is one like no other you've ever seen.
No kidding. It's a story of a young man who wanted to be a big-time movie director, boarded a bus, and drove straight into the Hollywood spotlight. For the past 12 months, this school bus has been home for a 25-year-old Australian named Biagi Quick. Quick came to L.A. 2.5 years ago with dreams of directing, but soon found himself jobless, broke, and evicted from his apartment. So Biagi focused his creativity toward the only outlet he had, since Hollywood wanted no part of him, his home.
I was very bored and very uptight, and I came here full of creative ideas, and I guess they manifested themselves through my humble bus.
But recently, things have turned around for Quick, ever since he turned his homelessness into art. With $2,500 he and friend Tasha Hale saved up, Biagi made a 20-minute video called Street Life. The first half of Street Life is slapstick comedy, but then the mood turns serious as Quick wonders what fate awaits him.
And once again realized the bleak reality of street life.
On a whim, Quick entered Street Life in the American Film Institute's Visions Video Contest earlier this summer, and it won the grand prize.
I was surprised that I always believed that you had to make a multi-million-dollar feature film that was bringing in lots of bucks for anyone to give you attention originally, so I didn't think, I thought that the film, if anything, was going to showcase something that I could do, and in some way it was going to be the catalyst to another project, which has happened.
On a recent morning on the sun deck of Biagi's bus was a scenario better than out of any screenwriter's imagination. Quick was taking meetings with producer Jerry Kramer, who was on the AFI judging panel, and is trying to line up music videos for Biagi to direct, and with 2 film producers.
We're going to produce Biagi's next feature, which is a film called D-Men. The film's, or he has a full-length feature script. It's already been storyboarded, and we're in pre-production right now.
You can hire people to copy, and they're very technically astute, but a unique point of view, you know, when you come across it, and that's kind of my business, is expressing and interpreting on film or video. That's really rare.
Those who have seen Street Life know that it is indeed a unique vision. But despite Biagi's offbeat approach to scaling the walls of the film industry, he believes his future projects will have a broad appeal.
I'm a mainstream kind of guy. I think that you know, there are 2 kinds of people who communicate, and there's the guy who preaches on the street, and he's like yelling and screaming with his message or his Bible or whatever, and people are like away. And then there's Jimmy Swaggart, you know, and he, you know, he goes out, and I guess that I'd probably be that guy if I was one of the 2.
And like scraps of wood that he found and then expertly crafted into a home on wheels, Quick believes that in making the most out of whatever resources one has, dreams can come true.
It's like giving someone a little patch of land where they can grow their own vegetables. If they're lazy, they'll starve. But if they're not, and you give them that little corner of grass, they'll grow things, and they'll, you know, and that's what I've done in a sense, you know.
You know, I can just see the listing on that bus. Bus with a view of a graveyard and a street, $2 million.
Oh, gee. Well, there's one last production we're extremely proud to announce this week. Lisa Gibbons has given birth to a daughter. That was last Sunday afternoon, and here they are. Lisa and her husband, actor Chris Quinton, welcomed their daughter Jordan Alexandra home from the hospital on Tuesday. Jordan was born last Sunday, weighing in at 8 pounds and 8 ounces and is 20 inches long. Everyone is doing well, and as you can see from the pictures, they're very happy.
Oh,
that's about all you can say. I talked to Lisa a little while ago and said, what can I tell them? And she said, Mary, just please say thank you to everybody for the phone calls, the letters, the cards, the gifts. They have been absolutely overwhelmed. Oh, and by the way, Jordan's looking for an agent.
well, they do deserve an Oscar for that. I have 5 words of advice. Rest when the baby sleeps.
And
That's all for this weekend. Next weekend, Leslie Nielsen, and you never know what he's going to do next.
Been fun doing the show with you, Pat.
Thank you, Mary.
And good luck to Lisa and Chris. And as we say goodbye, here's more of Dwight Yoakam singing Little Sister.
So long.
Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice. Tell me that it's nothing and you